Seniors, never take this vitamin after 60. It feeds cancer cells. If you're over 60 and still taking this popular vitamin, stop now, because you might be unknowingly feeding cancer cells in your own body. For decades, doctors have pushed this supplement as essential. It's sold in every pharmacy, marketed as heart-healthy, immune-boosting. But shocking new studies show that in older adults, this very vitamin, yes, the one you might be swallowing every single morning, can trigger tumor growth, fuel inflammation, and even accelerate the spread of silent cancers. And here's the worst part. Over 99% of seniors have no clue. I'm going to reveal the exact vitamin, the scientific proof Big Pharma doesn't want you to hear, and what you must do instead to protect your body. So, if you've ever taken a multivitamin or thought you were doing the right thing for your health, you need to watch this, because the danger is sitting right in your kitchen cabinet. Before we begin, let us know in the comments below where you're watching from, your age, and what vitamins you currently take daily. Has your doctor ever warned you about side effects? Have you ever felt unsure about a supplement? We're reading and replying to every single comment with personalized tips and science-backed advice. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more life-saving health tips for seniors. Let's talk about the vitamin you've likely trusted for years. It's found in nearly every senior multivitamin on the shelf. It promises to protect your heart, boost your immunity, and slow aging. For many older adults, it's become as routine as brushing your teeth. That vitamin is vitamin E, and more specifically, the synthetic form called DL-alpha tocopherol. Now, here's what most people don't know. This version is not the same as the natural vitamin E you get from food. Synthetic vitamin E is made from petrochemicals. It's cheaper to produce, lasts longer on shelves, and is used in bulk by major supplement brands. But your body doesn't process it the same way. In 2011, a massive clinical study called the SELECT trial, short for Selenium and Vitamin E Cancer Prevention Trial, was stopped early. Why? Because the results were so alarming, researchers felt they couldn't ethically continue. They found that men taking just 400 IU of synthetic vitamin E daily had a 17% higher risk of developing prostate cancer compared to those who took a placebo. And the risk didn't show up right away. It took a few years of daily use before the cancer rate spiked. Other studies soon followed. One linked synthetic vitamin E to increased lung cancer risk in smokers and former smokers. Another found that in postmenopausal women, high doses could interfere with hormone regulation, raising the risk of breast and ovarian cancer. And yet, walk into any pharmacy today, and you'll still see synthetic vitamin E, 400, 800, even 1,000 IU per pill, sold without warning labels. Even worse, most seniors don't realize their multivitamin even contains this form. It's often buried in fine print on the back of the bottle. The front says supports heart health, but the label doesn't say may increase cancer risk in older adults. This disconnect is terrifying, because seniors who are already more vulnerable to oxidative stress are the group most at risk from this hidden danger. They're taking something they believe will protect them, when in reality, it might be doing the opposite. In the next section, we'll break down exactly how synthetic vitamin E causes this damage inside your body. The science will shock you, and more importantly, it will empower you. Let's take a closer look at what synthetic vitamin E actually does once it enters your body, especially the aging body. Vitamin E is naturally an antioxidant. That means in its proper natural form and in modest amounts from food, it plays a helpful role. It neutralizes harmful molecules called free radicals, which can damage cells, speed up aging, and contribute to diseases like cancer, heart disease, and Alzheimer's. But here's the twist. When taken in high synthetic doses, vitamin E no longer behaves like a helper. It begins to act like a saboteur. This is what researchers call a pro-oxidant effect. Instead of neutralizing free radicals, it starts to create oxidative stress, the very damage it was supposed to prevent. Imagine you're putting out a small fire with a garden hose. But if the water pressure becomes too high and uncontrolled, it starts blasting holes through the wall. That's what synthetic vitamin E does to your cells at high doses. It interferes with important signaling in the immune system. It can turn off tumor-suppressing genes your body depends on to prevent cancer cells from multiplying. Even more dangerously, it promotes angiogenesis. That is the medical term for growing new blood vessels. Now, in a healthy situation, that might sound helpful. But when cancer is involved, those new blood vessels feed the tumor. They deliver oxygen and nutrients, giving cancer the fuel it needs to grow and spread faster. Older adults are especially vulnerable to this. Why? Because as we age, the body's ability to detoxify and eliminate excess nutrients weakens. The liver works slower. The kidneys filter less efficiently. So when you flood your body with synthetic vitamin E every day, it begins to build up. This buildup doesn't make you feel sick immediately. But silently, it creates an internal environment where cancer can thrive, and it gets worse. The damage doesn't stop at cancer. Some studies suggest that this imbalance may increase the risk of bleeding, stroke, or even worsen inflammation in people with chronic conditions like diabetes or arthritis. This is why blindly trusting high-dose vitamin supplements, especially synthetic ones, can be a dangerous gamble. You think you're protecting your body, but in reality, you might be weakening its defenses at the cellular level. Up next, I'll share a real story of someone who thought they were doing everything right until a shocking diagnosis changed everything. Let me introduce you to Harold. Harold was a 72-year-old retired electrician from a small town in Ohio. He lived a simple, quiet life. Never smoked, rarely drank, watched his weight, ate mostly plant-based meals. He was the kind of man you'd think would never end up in a doctor's office for anything serious. But Harold, like many seniors, had developed a habit. Every morning after breakfast, he would take a handful of supplements. One of them was a high-dose vitamin E capsule, 400 IU of synthetic DL-alpha tocopherol. He started taking it on the advice of a magazine article that claimed it could reduce the risk of heart disease. The label said, supports cardiovascular health and powerful antioxidant. That was all he needed to hear. No prescription required, and it felt proactive. 3 years passed. Then, during a routine checkup, his doctor noticed something concerning. Harold's PSA levels, a marker used to screen for prostate issues, were elevated. A biopsy confirmed what he least expected: early-stage prostate cancer. Harold was stunned. He had no family history. He wasn't overweight. He didn't eat processed meats or fried food. How could this happen? His oncologist began reviewing his lifestyle. That's when the supplements came up. The doctor paused when Harold mentioned vitamin E, synthetic, high dose, every day. Further discussions led to a deeper dive into recent research. The select trial findings came to light. Harold's supplement routine was almost identical to the study protocol, 400 IU daily, long-term. The oncologist couldn't say with certainty that the vitamin caused the cancer, but he did say one thing clearly: it likely didn't help and might have made things worse. Harold immediately stopped the synthetic vitamin E. He began working with a nutritionist who guided him toward a whole food, anti-inflammatory diet. He added more selenium-rich foods like Brazil nuts, mushrooms, and whole grains, nutrients shown to support healthy cell growth and reduce oxidative stress. 1 year later, his PSA levels had stabilized. The tumor had not progressed. No chemotherapy, no radiation, just smarter decisions made in time. Harold's story is a warning and a lesson. Even the most harmless pill can become a hidden threat, especially when your body is aging. The key isn't to fear supplements, but to know exactly what you're taking and why. If you have been taking synthetic vitamin E or are concerned about whether your supplement routine is helping or harming you, the first step is simple but crucial. Stop taking synthetic vitamin E unless it has been specifically prescribed by your doctor for a medical condition. Do not continue just because it is included in your daily multivitamin or because the label says antioxidant. Remember, labels are designed to sell, not to protect. Instead, get your vitamin E the natural way, through food. Natural sources of vitamin E come packed with other nutrients and antioxidants that work in harmony with your body. Unlike synthetic forms that can overload your system, food-based vitamin E is released slowly, gently, and in balance with your actual needs. Some of the best food sources of vitamin E for seniors include sunflower seeds. A small handful provides over 35% of your daily needs. Almonds, rich in heart-healthy fats and vitamin E. Spinach, which offers not only vitamin E but also magnesium, iron, and antioxidants. Avocado, a nutrient-dense fruit with healthy fats that help absorb vitamin E. and butternut squash. A seasonal favorite that delivers fiber. A seasonal favorite that delivers fiber. If you do need a supplement, choose D-alpha tocopherol, the natural form derived from plant oils. It is more bioavailable, meaning your body can absorb and use it more effectively. Always check the label. If it says D-alpha tocopherol, it is synthetic. Avoid it. As for dosage, never exceed 200 IU per day unless instructed by a qualified healthcare provider. The body needs vitamin E in small, balanced amounts. Taking more does not offer more benefits. In fact, it often means more risk, including increased chances of bleeding and stroke. For better results, combine natural vitamin E with other antioxidants like vitamin C and selenium. These work together to neutralize free radicals without overwhelming the system. Selenium, found in foods like Brazil nuts and mushrooms, has been shown to regulate antioxidant activity and may reduce cancer risk when part of a healthy diet. You do not need to live in fear of supplements, but you do need to live with knowledge. The safest choice is always food first, and when you do supplement, choose wisely and in moderation. Let us know in the comments, have you checked the label on your vitamin E supplement? Do you rely on natural sources or synthetic ones? Your health deserves the truth, and now you have it. You might be asking yourself, if synthetic vitamin E is so risky, why haven't we heard more about this? The answer is both simple and unsettling: profit. Synthetic vitamin E, specifically the form called D-alpha tocopherol, is cheap to manufacture. It is made from petroleum byproducts through a chemical process that allows companies to produce it in massive quantities for just a fraction of the cost of natural vitamin E. It also has a longer shelf life, making it more convenient for mass production, packaging, and distribution. This makes synthetic vitamin E the perfect ingredient for one thing: profit margins. Multivitamin companies save millions by choosing this form over the natural, more expensive alternative. It is not about what is best for your health. It is about what is best for their bottom line. And it does not stop there. Many of the studies that have claimed synthetic vitamin E is safe have been funded by the very companies that manufacture the supplements. These industry-funded studies often avoid long-term follow-up or focus on younger adults whose body process nutrients differently than seniors. In many cases, the results are selectively published, omitting negative findings or downplaying risks. Even worse, walk down the supplement aisle in any pharmacy or big box store and you will find dozens of multivitamins targeted specifically at seniors. Many of them proudly advertise heart health, immune support, or anti-aging benefits. But when you flip the bottle around and read the fine print, you will often find 400 IU, 600 IU, or even 800 IU of synthetic vitamin E per dose per day. And remember, seniors often take these multivitamins every single day for years, sometimes decades, unaware of the potential risks. The accumulation of this synthetic compound is slow but steady, and the damage it may cause often does not show up until it is too late. This is the part no one talks about. There is no warning label, no red flag, just quiet, convenient packaging and promises of health. But now you know. In the next section, we will hear directly from viewers and patients who have changed course, people just like you who made a small shift and experienced big improvements. Over the past year, we've heard from hundreds of viewers just like you, seniors, caregivers, and even retired nurses, sharing personal stories that echo a troubling pattern. Many were feeling off without a clear reason: chronic fatigue, unexplained joint pain, elevated liver enzymes, or blood test results that made no sense. And most of them had one thing in common: they were taking synthetic multivitamins every single day. One viewer named Linda, a 68-year-old grandmother from Arizona, wrote to us saying she had been struggling with low energy for months. Her doctors ran test after test, but everything looked normal. Then one day, while watching our video on supplement safety, she checked her multivitamin label for the first time in years. Sure enough, it listed 800 IU of D-alpha tocopherol, synthetic vitamin E. She stopped taking it and replaced it with a diet rich in seeds, greens, and olive oil. Within 3 weeks, her energy started returning. Her sleep improved. Her brain fog lifted. And when she went back for a follow-up blood test, her inflammatory markers had dropped significantly. Another viewer, Frank, a retired truck driver from Michigan, said he had been on high-dose vitamin E for over 5 years to help with circulation. After watching our previous video, he switched to food-based supplements and cut back his dosage. Within 2 months, the numbness in his hands began to improve. His doctor even asked what had changed because his lab results were the best they had been in years. These stories are not isolated. They are signs of a deeper issue, the blind trust in over-the-counter supplements, especially those labeled for seniors. That is why we are here, to provide you with real science, honest information, and practical alternatives. Have you experienced something similar? Have you felt better after stopping a certain supplement or changing your routine? We want to hear from you. Scroll down and leave a comment. Tell us your age, what supplements you take, and what results you have seen, good or bad. We are reading every single response and replying with personalized advice when we can. This channel is not just about exposing hidden health dangers. It is about building a community of empowered, informed seniors who take control of their well-being one smart decision at a time. Your body after 60 is not the same as it was at 30, and it should not be treated the same way. As we age, the liver slows down, the kidneys become less efficient, and the margin for error with what we put into our bodies, whether it is food, medication, or supplements, gets smaller and smaller. That is why taking the wrong supplement, even one that sounds harmless, can quietly do more harm than good, especially when it is taken every single day for years without question. What matters most now is not doing more, but doing what is right. If this video helped you see something differently, if it made you stop and question a daily habit, then take one more step. Share it. Send it to a friend, a parent, or a neighbor who might still be popping that same vitamin every morning without knowing the risks. Hit the like button so more people in their 60s, 70s, and beyond can discover the truth. The algorithm may not care, but real lives could be changed. Subscribe to this channel if you want more weekly content like this, real science, honest advice, and clear answers to the questions most seniors are never told. And most importantly, remember this: when it comes to your health, more is not always better. Sometimes less is not only safer, it is life-saving. Thank you for watching. Take care of yourself, and we will see you in the next video.